The zombie barrier is the barrier of expressionless worship. And in this, we're also going to talk about kind of some wrong kinds of expression as well. Now, if you watched the introduction to this series on WorshipTeamCoach.com, I talked about where I first noticed this barrier. It was when I realized my congregation looked like a bunch of screen zombies. They just stared at the screen. Yeah, you've seen that. But when I turned around and looked at my band, I realized the congregation was just following their leaders. My band was full of stand zombies. And you know, as their leader, I was as guilty of it too. So the barrier we're looking at identifying today is the barrier of expressionless worship, and secondarily, the wrong kinds of expression in worship. Here are some variations of the zombie barriers. The first one is the stand zombie. These are musicians who just stare at their music stand. Some take it even further and actually hide behind their music stand. Then there's what I call the fright reader. It's when musicians barely know the song and are following the chart in survival mode. And they look similar to the stand zombies, but there's a kind of a look of fear in their eyes. This next one plagues instrumentalists who know their music but don't have enough confidence to look up. I call them the finger watchers. They can't take their eyes off their fingers. Another way to spot the zombie barrier is when you see any of your singers or instrumentalists looking scared, timid, or bored. There are also other barriers that detract from worship, and let me just name a few. The eye closer. If someone's an eye closer, they close their eyes more than they're open. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. That can make the congregation feel like they're being ignored. The same goes for someone who's always looking up. Whether they're looking at the confidence monitor or the ceiling, we're not sure, but they never look at the congregation. Then there's the worship musician that goes too far the other way. I call this the stalker eyes. They're looking way too intently at the congregation. You're all I want. Help me know you are near. Another common one, especially nowadays, is the angry, angst-filled worshiper. They've got this mad, furrow-browed intensity as they worship. Love never fails, it never gives up, and never runs out on me. Your love, yeah, your love. Another expression I've seen is the over-expressive worshiper. I had someone on my team once who had more like Broadway type arm motions. And I honestly was thinking that she just might break into jazz hands right in the middle of a Matt Redman tune. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Blessed be your name. Blessed be the name of the Lord. So this seems pretty obvious, but let's talk about 4 reasons why this barrier is a hindrance to worship.